Mpulse Summit is a faith-based empowerment experience. We also have our hands-on learning where you can participate in interactive workshops. We have business and branding growth where you can learn how to elevate your brand. We have personal and professional breakthroughs where we walk away with action. Celebration of excellence is what we have too, where we honor those icons and legends, game changers who have shaped the industry. I suggest you be a part of history, for this is our 7th year and it's going to be our biggest year. Be a part of the movement. Be a part of the life changing of Mpulse Summit. So as you hear, be a part of a life-changing experience. I am your visionary founder, Micheline Barber of Mpulse Summit. Mpulse Summit is going to be held September the 27th through the 29th in Charlotte, North Carolina, and we are officially inviting you to be a part of this experience. Now, I am here simply to motivate you, inspire you, and impact the minds of millions one at a time, like I have been doing for so many years. And this young lady is one of the ones that we're about to bring on the Restore Now tour with us as to the Mpulse Summit and what we have been doing for now going on 7 years. If you have not heard about Mpulse Summit, if this is your first time visiting us on this live, I suggest you go and tag someone and let them know, hey, I am hearing something powerful and I need to be a part of it. If that's you, take some time out right now and share it. It does not cost you a thing. But as I'm doing that, I want to welcome to the Seats of Restore Now podcast, a young lady that's been with us out of the 7 years. She's been with us for 6 years at Mpulse Summit, and she is in Massachusetts. And I want you all to feel her spirit, see exactly what she's going to be doing, what she specializes in, all the things that just keeps her ahead of the game. She's always learning, been doing it now for 20 some plus years, 26 years to be exact. She is the visionary founder of Comma Styles and Beauty in Massachusetts. Y'all, please welcome to the seats our special guest artist, Miss Sharon Comma.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Excited that you are joining us on this podcast tonight. Let me say, I just said a little bit about you because, again, you've been 26 years. You've been at Mpulse Summit for 6 of those years. So I can say, hey, we've been a part of that history and journey. Tell them a little bit more about you because you are definitely have been one of the heartbeats that of Mpulse Summit to keep there. What's some of your specialties that you love to do?
Specialties that I love to do, cut and color. But one of the real specialties that I really love to do is cutting, relaxing, and coloring all in the same day. It intrigues me to know that I can do this. And so many people, that their time is so valuable to them. And to be able to come in and get you here, relax, color, and cut in the same day service.
And keep your hair healthy.
And keep the hair, yes, and keep the hair healthy.
Yes. So many times, Sharon, like you are ventured out and you have your own space and you're doing things and it looks amazing in your space. So you bring shades of color to textured and relaxed hair, right? You offer custom relaxers, specialize in hair loss solutions. What makes your approach different from other stylists or other things that's out here that's doing the same thing?
I think what makes my approach different is because is my eyes and my focus, and not everybody hair is a candidate for that service. And not everyone who sits in my chair can have that service because I customize how I do my relaxers. I customize how I do my colors. I customize how I do my cuts. So everyone is different, and that's what sets me apart.
I like that.
Because I'm looking at you as an individual, and what you need.
I like that because you individualize everyone who's sitting in your chair, right? And you have a listening ear and you also have the intuition of knowing what someone can and cannot say. A lot of times people feel like everybody can do the same thing. Absolutely not. I always tell people not everybody can wear the same size, not everybody has the same, you may have the complexion that's similar, but you're not the same. So you studied before you even got into cosmetology. I asked you what some of the things you usually was in banking, and you also was in healthcare, right? How does those two different experiences shape you into being where you are with showing up behind the chair now that you are doing it? Because you was in banking. I can tell you some of the things I hear, and then now healthcare, and now you are in the cosmetology world. How does those differ and make it yet come together?
How they come together for me is that, again, your eyes and your listening and being able to, especially I'm gonna say in both, even banking and healthcare, you got to be a person that can multitask. And when you can multitask and you can hear without even looking over your shoulder, you can hear without even moving a muscle, and you know what you heard, and you know what you need to do. And the other thing is that for being in healthcare, you gotta sometimes read the room. Because I sat in healthcare, I sat in between the doctors and the nurses. And sometimes I had to read the room before anything even took place and know what they needed.
Yeah.
And that comes with a lot of experience, though. That don't just happen. But I also want to say this. I believe this from the bottom of my heart. Some people are gifted with that also. And I believe I'm one of those people that are gifted with that.
That's good.
And why I say that is because when it comes to someone's child in the emergency room, because I worked in the emergency room, I also worked in cardiology. Now, everyone knows that cardiology is one of the biggest departments in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to talk about the cardiology was, they're going in to a fetus with a needle to repair that baby's heart before they even come out. You got to be on your P's and Q's when you are scheduling these appointments, when you are sending someone out to do that fetal echo. You got to make sure that you're sending out, because Micheline, everybody has their levels. And when you hear what's going on with this mother, when you hear what's going on with this fetus, you know who you need to send to that other hospital. Yeah. Because everyone's different. And here's why I feel like when it comes to the banking, numbers, but again, you're dealing with people's money. That's can be very sticky.
Yes.
When you deal with people's money, you got to get it right. Can't be messing up with people's money. When you're dealing with someone's health, you got to get it right. The doctors didn't want to hear, "Oh, I made a mistake." They didn't want to hear that. Mm-mm. So when it comes to my previous experience of being in banking and healthcare, it brings it into becoming a hairstylist. I always wanted to be a hairstylist. My mother was a hairstylist.
Okay.
Yeah, yes. My mom was a hairstylist. And that experience in my life, being a hairstylist, not only that I believe that that's what I was put on this earth for. You got to go through some things to get sometime. I believe where your purpose is at. And I believe this is my purpose. I believe I have to go through those things to get here, because I feel like God knows where we were going to be and what this world was going to be like. And he knew who he needed to stand behind this chair.
Yeah. So it's a purpose behind everything he do, right? And it's a plan behind everything. And as you're saying, okay, I went from banking, and as I'm hearing, okay, this is what we're talking about, trusting, right? Same thing that goes into behind the chair. People got to trust you. They trust you with their money. They trust you with their hair, right? Mm-hmm. The next thing is when you said healthcare, trusting with the heart. It's a spiritual It's a spiritual alignment too that you have to have, and it's bigger than hair behind the chair. And so that's why that is another alignment for your assignment as to why you ended up in the experience of being an entrepreneur in the hair field,
Mm-hmm.
in the cosmetology field. So many times I've had watched you and I've listened to you, and I know there's times when the uncertainty have came. Was there ever a time when you was in doubt, uncertainty, burned out, all these things that you can say that you felt, and then how did you get out of that?
Yeah, there was a time when I was uncertain, and there was some years back I was a little uncertain about it, but and that's only because of the human in me.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I quit my job, at this point I was now in the emergency department. But when I quit my job, I remember saying a prayer, because I said, Lord, I don't want to work. I don't want to be in the emergency department anymore. I don't want to work overnights. I want to do here full time, because I was at the point where I was scared. Yes, I'm not even gonna lie. I was scared, but I was trusting God on this one. And when I tell you I quit my job and I started doing hair full time, and I just trusted and believed that it was going to happen. But now, yeah, there came a point where I was like, oh man, did I do the right thing? Did I do the right thing?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I sat in a salon and I watched everybody making money. But you know what I did? I helped out. I swept the floors. I shampooed, I would run and go get food, but Micheline, with me doing that, my pockets were always full. I was like, all right, you know what I mean?
Yes.
But then it came again, and I'm going to just fast forward to, was it last year? I think it was last year. You and Lee called me on the phone, and I was feeling like, what? I think about that time of uncertainty, and I was like, where was that coming from? But you and Lee called me on the phone that time, and I was all over the place. I don't even know if you knew it. And I was telling you guys, no, I'm not gonna come, and I was just like, no, I'm not gonna come. And I was like, after I got there, I felt like I was the only one there. I've never felt like that before. I was even saying, also, what is wrong with me? I was like, Lord, all these people are here. I've been here with all these people before. I don't know if you noticed that, but I just felt like I was there by myself.
Mm.
And I was like, what is going on? And then I said, and I just had to say thank you to you and Lee for calling me, because I needed that. And I'm just saying that to say that sometimes we have stuff going on in our life, and sometimes we know what it is, sometimes we don't know what it is.
Yes.
And that particular time, I didn't know what it was, but now I believe I do know.
Mm-hmm.
I believe, like, for me, when it's time for you, because I heard this, and this is why I say I believe I know what it is, because that September after I came, I went to a New Year's service. My pastor, I wasn't going to go. I was thinking about everything else to do. I was thinking about going out, and then something said go to church. I went to church, and the pastor she said, when a rocket goes up, she said, in order for that rocket to go up, it starts dropping.
Yep. Yeah.
Except for it to go higher, it got to keep dropping.
That's true.
And I said, well, my Lord, there it was. God was sending me up, and
you were still holding on. Direction.
I can see it.
So how did you find this out?
So she was talking about the rocket, and she was like, how for the rocket to go higher, it got to drop a lot of pieces off. And I was like, wow, because I remember just thinking to myself, what was wrong with me? But there was some pieces that I had to drop off of me, and I was like, that was it. And it was like, it all makes sense. It just all made sense to me.
Yeah. Sometimes we don't realize that what he's showing us, and it doesn't make sense until we have that aha moment, right?
Mhm.
Like, what is that? I wrote down the word rocket because as you're talking about falling off, it's almost like an elevator. As you go higher, there's people who have to get off on the different levels. That's why it's level 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to the penthouse. In
Right.
order for us to get to the penthouse, we got to let some people off because it's only one key that
That's
fits to the penthouse.
that's right.
So with you coming with us 6 years with Mpulse Summit, what keeps you keep coming back? Because with me knowing that Sharon is, no one can't talk or anything. Say you're gonna do research, and even from the very first time, you came to Mpulse Summit, it was uncertainty. It was, hey, now what is this about? What made you just keep coming back? And even though Lee and I, because we felt funny, we was like, wait a minute, what she mean she's not coming? It was like, so he's like, nah, this, there's some people who you gotta see their face in the place. What makes you keep coming back to Mpulse Summit?
What makes me keep coming back is the connection. I meet so many people. And like I said, I just always want to say thank you to you and Lee for making that call because I needed that. I needed that little and I love to come because of the connections that I have, and I see the same people every year, and we can sit around and talk and bounce things off of one another. And I love it that, I come in and I may have questions and I'll ask somebody a question and they answer me freely.
Yes.
And you know what? I'm a person, I'm big on, I can hear what you're saying, but I'm big on the action that you're giving along with it.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone they give so freely, but the actions that they show along with it is just beautiful to me. I don't feel like they're saying it but they don't really want to give it to you. No, they want to give it to you.
They do.
They give it all to you.
Yeah. Because
and
I feel like, go ahead, Sharon.
I love that. And I remember the first year when I came, I went home, man. Micheline, I thought I was on cloud 9. I said, where did I just come from? Oh my goodness. I remember sitting in the airport with my feet up in the air. I was like, man, it was phenomenal. I felt like I was on cloud 9. I felt like I was an angel or eagle just
Float, yeah.
just soaring. Soaring. And every time I go and I come back, I feel that way. And what I know for sure is that I go and, a lot of my friends will say to me, why do you keep going? Why do you go every year? Well, they may look at me and they say, you're doing this and you're doing that. But I always see room for improvement for me. I always see that there's room for improvement. And like this year, restore, I feel like last year to this year, it's a restore for me. Because
Yeah.
I went through something last year, and this year it's the restore. And I was, like I said, it's different for everybody, but for me, I always leave with, if it's the littlest thing, I
Yeah.
leave with it. I
Yeah.
leave with it. And I love the fact that, I go, now we have the mental health.
Yes.
Love that. I love that because it's so much people out here in this world that go through stuff. We stand behind this chair and we hear so much. We listen to so much. And for me, from working in the healthcare and working in banking, I know for sure that what I hear is just like being in banking. It's just like being in a hospital. You do not repeat it.
No.
You do not repeat it. It's a
It's a
HIPAA.
safe space.
It's a
It's
HIPAA violation to
exactly.
repeat what someone has. People come into me all the time, and it's like they release.
Yeah.
They just let it all out. And you know what? I say to myself, and I thank God because like I said, my past experience, and not only that, but I do believe that I was put on this earth for this.
Yeah.
And that's why I keep going, because I keep, there's so many people that come into Mpulse Summit with the education and the experience that they have and the things that I learn from everyone. It's just like a fuel. It's like it keeps me fueled. And then we have Pastor Major Jones. Like, who has a it's so intimate. It's so intimate. Who has a pastor out there in the hallways looking over you, watching you? You know what I mean? And he's in there with us, so he's understanding where we're coming from, and I love that. I just love it.
Yeah, I tell people it's a safe space. And the panels that we have, no one leaves out of there saying, girl, what? No, it's a judge-free zone.
Yeah.
Everybody come there, the ones who you think have it going on, the ones that tell you, I went through this. Like, and you sit here like, wow, you know? So you come there thinking you by yourself, but you leave there seeing yourself in multiple people.
Yes.
Multiple things, even the people like the leaping, being able to say, listen, because I changed my mindset and my spirit, I leaped and God did not let me fall. You know, and that's what I love, that we are a family, that we think about each other, and everyone that come, they do not mind sharing. They leave there empty, you know. And so this year you've been Make Room. The one that you missed was Reveal. That was the virtual. We've had Stretch, Breathe, Believe, Victory, and now we at Restoration. So, you know, as a pioneer, being in this industry so long, Restore, what does that word mean to you? Because God is showing us that it's washing in the word. And what does that mean to you personally and professionally when you say restore? What is it that you feel?
So when I hear the word restore, I feel that for me personally, is to restore back into me what I have put out over the years, and like you say, it's bigger than here. It's bigger than here. Yes. And for me, it comes a time when we have to be restored because we put out so much. Some of us, we put out so much. Sometimes, you know, I sit back and I'm like, Sharon, you gotta stop. But it's in me.
It's in you.
It's in me. It's just in me and I know God, I know he watches over me because he knows my heart and he knows I'm a just, and so with me, with that restore, I feel like this year is to restore. It's about me. And I thank God, and I feel like for me, I've been hearing God say to me, it's okay. Mm-hmm. It's okay to receive and restore back.
You know what my mom said to me one time? She said, Micheline, it's okay to be selfish. Mm-hmm. It's okay to think about yourself, because that's the uncomfortable feeling that you always, you know, you say, oh, do I deserve that? Is it me? Mm-hmm. You know, and it's okay. When God said it's okay to receive, because I'm one of the hardest people to receive anything, you know, and yet I'm the hardest person to release things as well. Mm-hmm. I'm holding on to it because I'm a giver. And as I see you come every year, you are that. You are sitting here and you was like, hey, Micheline, if she doesn't have a room, tell her I got her room. I mean, you call me without me even calling you or saying you got it for live one night and you heard it. You was like, listen, until I got a room. Mm-hmm. What makes you keep saying yes when you know for a fact that you don't feel like someone's going to say yes to you, but you keep saying yes?
Well, what makes me keep saying yes is because I know that there was a time in my life when I didn't have, and God made a way.
Yeah.
And when I say he made a way, I feel like it's not about me giving, but it's because I know that there be people who be wanting to come. There's people who really don't have, but they want to be there. And I always say, like, God always make a way, so let me make a way for that individual who needs it. And you know, that's just what it is. That's all it is. I just feel like God always make a way, and sometimes I be like, where is it coming from? Like,
Yeah.
really, I'm like, where is it coming from?
Trust me, I know. You know, like the other day, these young men was outside and they was asking people for money for their school, football uniforms for the summer program. And I'm blowing the horn because they went past me. I'm like, I got some money here. I'm gonna just give them some, right? And
Mm-hmm.
they just didn't see me. They didn't hear me. They didn't see me. And I said, I got to go out of my way to make sure I bless them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we have to do. We got to go out of our way. So I went around, fought through traffic, you know, went, and I had to be to the salon in a couple of minutes, but I made a way to turn around to give them that. And they were so grateful.
Mm-hmm.
See, God will show us about being grateful in the little things in life. So he
Yep.
give us the big things. And so looking at 500 Boston Providence Highway, that's where you are,
Mm-hmm.
at Sharon Common and Beauty. What is the ideal person that you're looking for? What is that guest that you say, my ideal guest is this, and this? What is that ideal guest for you?
So my ideal guest for me, I'm open. I'm judge free. All I ask when a guest come in, all I ask is that you are pleasant. Because I know we all go through things. Life happens.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I ask that you be pleasant, respectful. And because for me, if you come in and you don't want to talk, I understand that.
Yeah.
But you can't come in and change up my atmosphere. I have a problem with that. When you come in and you change up how my atmosphere is. So
How is your atmosphere? What does your atmosphere feel like? Because I've been knowing you, but you create and you sent me a picture of some things. But what does, if I walk into your space, what am I feeling? What am I smelling? What am I, just everything?
you walk in, it's going to be peaceful,
Yes.
a smile, a hug. So and it's going to be laughter.
Yes.
Sometimes it's just straight peace. Sometimes it's just straight peace with the jazz playing,
Mm-hmm.
and lots of bright lights. It's lit up in here.
Love it. Love it. So I know there's somebody that's looking for that safe space. And I've watched you work. I've watched you post your things. I've watched you just get better and want to do better, because you asking is it your niece or the young lady that's been assisting you with success, or your cousin?
That's my cousin.
Yes. So you're wanting, as seasoned as you are, you're wanting to do better. That's what you look for. You look for someone, ladies and gentlemen, that someone who is seasoned, but they still want to be seasoned. You know what I'm saying? They still want somebody to sprinkle something on them to get them
Yeah.
better. Right. So your expectation from God during the summit this year, what is that you're expecting God to do in all facets?
Man, Micheline, that's a good question. All he has done, I'm just like, man, what more is there he can do? Because Micheline, what I tell you, I'm blown away right now. And at this point, what I would want from God to do is to send in the young people that is passionate about this industry, that I can start sharing with them what I know. That's really what I would love to see happen, that God starts sending in the younger people so that all that we know, me, you, all of us, can start pouring into these young people, because these young people don't understand is that we're getting older. We
Yes.
don't start retiring. We have, and I say this because I learned from, and to this day, she's older than me. And she taught me little fine details that I still use today fine details. And that's what I know that we can teach these young people, these fine details. So that's my prayer, and that the young people will start coming in. And this is why when I hear someone, like when I'm at Mpulse Summit and I hear someone in the room crying out that they want to be there next year, but they don't have the money, that's why I give, because we need to give and help in each other. I believe in helping one another. I believe that, because we need to uplift each other. It's just like when you see, and I see these things on Instagram and I see pictures, someone's trying to get up, but you got to try to pull them up sometime. You got to do.
It's a pull and push. And just when you said that too, Guy, he just been telling me this, it's a ministry in the industry that needs. And we have to start pulling our younger individual. When I went and did the show in Orlando, so many of the young individuals that's been doing hair started gravitating to me. I mean, they was following me around. We were talking. I'm introducing them to people. You know what I'm saying? It just felt good to be around people who was hungry. And then the young lady said, Miss Micheline, I need you, not just about cuts and color. She said, but I need you to mentor me through Christ. She said, because at one time I did not believe in God. That touched me. That there's somebody that's out there young that want to know more about his favor, more about his mercies and his grace. And they coming to me and they coming to Sharon. They're saying, listen, I want to be in the building. I just don't know how. And the ones that we paved the way for turn around and say, oh, I got to be there because when I went to Mpulse Summit, I now own this, right? The testimonies that these people are saying, or these young ladies and young men are saying, is only confidence or only the confirmation that God's saying it is needed for us to show them, to pass the time.
Yes.
There's someone that's young out there right now that's in the industry that may have gotten under the wrong tutelage or under the wrong mentor. If you're looking for an amazing mentor, you can find Sharon Comma. She is in the Massachusetts area and she is located right there and willing to pour into you. All she's saying is, are you willing to pour back out to someone else? Keep it pouring. Like that waterfall, what's the pour head and pour. That's what you want to be. You want to be that waterfall that's an everlasting waterfall that's constantly coming back. Right. That's constantly. So she can be found at 500 Boston Providence Highway. 155 is her suite. And she's in Norwood. And she's looking for someone that she can show and mentor. She is a color specialist. I watched you do your color. Phenomenal. All facets, from shades of color, of fashion colors to down to gray coverage. Like, I've watched you do all these things. I've watched your cuts. Great cuts, from bobs to pixie cuts. And the younger girls are leaving out there just like, yes, some of the people who may be picky, they like, Miss Sharon is the one.
Yes.
That is the one. So there's somebody out there that's saying, I need a Sharon in my life. Someone that's going to respect me, that's going to listen to me, that's going to listen and also take in the consideration about what I'm saying. So we're saying yes to Mpulse Summit. You was nervous, you was skeptical, and sure. There's somebody that's the same way, Sharon. There's somebody that's the same way, because even when getting your facility right now, you probably said, and I know one time you called me when you was going to be a manager at one salon, and you called me and you asked me my opinion, right? That was value. That was valuable to me, because I'm like, she values my opinion. As you're talking now, there's someone out there that's feeling that same way, that do not know how to leap and to say yes, to be a part of Mpulse Summit, to say yes and come in and learn under you. What would you tell the male or the female that's sitting on the pot but not doing anything? How would you tell them to get up and say yes?
So, the first thing that comes to mind, just do it. Just do it. Don't even think about it. If this is something that you are passionate about, just do it. That's what I did. I remember when Micheline first introduced it to me. She was here in Boston and she said, I'm having this summit. And I just did it. I didn't know what it was about. I just did it. Just do it, because you will not regret it. I guarantee you that you will not regret it. And this is, like I said, this is why I go every year, is because I leave with nuggets, little nuggets every single time. And then you connect with people that I love to see every year. And I sit down and we chit chat and we have, we catch up. Just do it. Don't even think about it. Just do it. And I would just like to say this. Stop worrying about the money. Stop worrying about the money. The money's going to come.
Yes.
What you should be worrying about is your skills, your success, because the skills and what you should be worrying about is your skills and your success and your experience in learning from the individuals that are brought to Mpulse Summit. Because when I first went and the stuff that I learned, man, it took me to another level. I'm telling you, it took me to another level. And everybody, and can I just say this real quickly? Because within 6 months, I ended up leaving 4 different salons. And I was like, Lord, what is going on? But you see, when you start focusing on your education and the people that you are around and that you are talking to, you elevate, and then other people around you is looking at you, and it becomes a problem for them.
Yes. And most of the time when you're growing like that, you outgrow a situation or a circumstance.
Yes.
And you sometimes looking in the mirror and saying, like you said, what's wrong with me? I've moved from 4 salons. When the reality is God is going to make it so uncomfortable for you that he needed you to see what you can do.
Absolutely.
He's going to make it so uncomfortable for all of us. Like when I was in Colombia, I got so comfortable till he made it uncomfortable. I moved to Charlotte and I know nothing, no hotel, no nothing. And God said, no, I'm telling you to do it. And I'm gonna tell you to do it again. And I'm gonna tell you to do this. And I'm sitting here like, okay, God, I'm just not getting my head above water. No, I need you to do this again. I'm not gonna drown you, but I'm gonna let you see that you have to solely depend on me, not that raft that they're throwing, not that boat that they're sending. I need you to depend solely on what I'm telling you, to hear my voice.
Right.
And now you are getting ready to start your personal classes. What does that sound like to you? And what is it that you're looking for someone who needs to learn about it? What is some things that they can find from you?
So what my personal classes, what I want to start, it has one, customer service skills. I definitely want to talk a lot about that because it's so important that we are delivering good customer service skills. And I'm going to just say this so that, you can understand. I wasn't always good in customer service. And sometimes life will be hard, and you sometimes you have like things going on at home, and you tend to maybe be a little harsh. And I'm gonna just say this: one time I lost all access at the hospital because they said my customer service skills, and I was like, what? But you never know how you sound to an individual who's coming in who is sick, or they having hard times, or they going through whatever in life. So that's why now I'm very mindful. And I learned this when they sent me this customer service skills. Always have a smile on your face. Always have a smile on your face, because when you're talking and you got that smile on your face, people can hear that.
Confidence. Yes. I like that. That's good.
So, and again, with my classes, I want them to be really intimate, because I want to teach how I was taught by Miss Brenda Jones. And she taught me some of the old school. And I want to teach some of that, because that comes into play when you're doing hair, especially when you have people with hair issues.
Mm-hmm.
Those old school techniques come into play. And I don't think a lot of the new generation know about those old school techniques.
Old school is not a new school. You know what I'm saying? Because customer service is something that will keep you, even if you're not the best at skills, will keep your chair spinning.
That's right.
You know how to treat people right.
That's
people
right.
Give you another chance. Oh, but if you talking to people crazy, now people, their money is intentional, their time is intentional, and they don't need you to be talking to them any kind of way when they're trying to come in and say, I need this, this, and this. Yes. So yes, customer service should be one of the first things that someone is coming in to take classes. And then you'll be able to share with them cutting techniques and color techniques. So yeah. And so this is the intimate setting of being able to keep healthy hair, learn how to do relaxer, cut, and color all in the same day without stressing out or without being burned out.
Right.
That's what you want to learn from Miss Sharon. That's what you want to learn. So this year coming up, Sharon, there's the word restore. What does restore mean to you?
Restore means to me is to bring back, you know, or bring back into, like for me, a lot that I had lost in the past. And when I say that, what I mean by that is, you know, in the past, sometimes you tend to forget about yourself. Mm-hmm. And so for me, it's personal because it's like to bring back and be okay with accepting it's about me now. And that's what restore means for me, is to be okay with accepting what belongs to me.
I like that. So to bring back and accepting me, I like that because a lot of people are not willing and ready to let that go and to know that. And God is preparing you for your next. But in order for him to prepare you for your next, you had to let go of the old to move into the new, the preparation of it all. There's something I'm going to ask you, you know, like the ice cream company, it says, like it, love it, gotta have it. What is Sharon like, love, and gotta have?
What do I like?
Mm-hmm.
What do I like? So for me, I like, oh man, it's so many things I like. What, could it be food or anything or?
Mm-hmm. It could be that your business, just placing your business. What do you like about?
Oh, in my business, what I like? I really like in my business meeting the people. Honest to goodness, I really like meeting people.
Yeah. And what do you love about it?
People. What was the other one?
Love. What do you love?
Man, what do I love? In this business, what do I love? I love the smile that is on an individual's face. Just like today when this young lady left, she was like, can I hug you?
Oh, wow.
And the smile that was on her face. And she was like, I feel like I need to go out. It's when I love to know that I made somebody feel good.
That's good. And then what's the thing that you gotta have?
The thing that I gotta have? Wow, what do I gotta have? The thing that in this business,
business, personal, spiritual, what is it that you gotta have?
What do I gotta have? You know what I gotta have? I'm gonna say my children. I'm gonna say my children. You know, because my children, and the reason I say my children, I gotta have my children because there's things that we sit around and I run by them and I be like, Michael, what do you think of this? Michelle, what do you think of this? Phil, what do you think of this? Mm-hmm. And they tell me what they think about it. I was like, oh, okay, because you know, just the way I grew up back in my time, you know, it's different now.
Yeah.
So I gotta have my kids to lean on, to ask them about certain things because the generation now is different from when I was growing up.
Mm-hmm. I like that. And so in this industry, we are always learning that we're growing, and the like it, love it, and gotta have it is something that we have to realize. What is I like? I tell people, if you go to a stylist that do not love what they do, run. Run if they do not love it. Like if they just doing it just because, run. And you got to have a family affair. Like we are family at Mpulse Summit. Family will come together. So that is it. Our faith and our family that's it. And the rest of it is going to come because he's going to provide it for us all. So that's why I love knowing what people, you know, when I went to get some ice cream, I'm like, you know what? But every time it just get bigger and bigger. You know, the smaller size like it, they love it, you gotta have it. That's the big thing that you bring home with you.
Yeah.
You gotta have it in your place. That's what we want you all to feel like. I like being around people. I like knowing it's going to be restored this year. Joel 2:25 said it's time to rebuild, revive, and restoration time. September the 27th through the 29th. I like that. Then the love about it is that we love sharing. We love the fact that we have all these different events that's going to be going on just for you, you, and you. Offsite again, ours, which is our green boots on the ground. We have our signature Pulse industry mixer that we're going to be doing. It's the popcorn with purpose this year. So it's the panel. We got the menopause that's going to be going on the same time. We have our PPB, which is our power breakfast. We now added the signature VIP breakfast, along with we've added the signature cocktail hour, as well as the signature cupcakes and conversations with the coaches. Next thing, we have our Sunday post with Pastor Major Jones. You mentioned that he's a powerful man of God, one that watches over his flock. Then we have the Cream Gala Awards. Everyone looks so amazing at this award. And then we have the release. And we always tell people, do not, if you can't not, do not leave until after the release ceremony, because that is where God is leaving everything at the altar. Let me say, as a personal signature VIP, which is what you are, Sharon, you get your personal signature on paraphernalia, curated brand items for your experience. You get a 3 virtual classes out of 5 that you can take, which is from our expert-led sessions tailored to your goals. You get premium seating and visibility, which means your seat will have your name on it. And you get a signature promotion package where we customize opportunities to enhance your brand visibility, which is what we're doing right now for someone to find you. How can you sign up? You can sign up by simply going to standstore.com, or you can scan the QR code right here and you'll be able to join us. We now are covering everything. If you want to pay through Klarna or Afterpay, PayPal, Affirm, we have you covered. It is now time for restoration, and it's going to be even more in September the 27th through the 29th in Charlotte, North Carolina. And we are so happy to have our veteran, our seasoned stylist with us, Sharon, because it's feel funny without you being there. I'm just going to let you know that. I look around the room, like you said, I'm looking to see certain people that I know supposed to be in the place. And if they're not there, I'm like, what's going on? Mm-hmm. I'll see them on the list. I'm like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? And I tell people it's not about the money, but it's about the presence of people being there with the purpose to keep it going with God's ordained. It's like, that is what it's about. Because what we give you, like people say, Mitch, they pay that for 3 days. I pay that for 1 day for 4 hours. You know what I'm saying? But we give fine dining experience. All that we have different events, color-coded events. We add the boots on the ground event, which is green. The shuttle takes you from the airport over. The shuttle takes you from there to the offsite event. You really, really, really don't have to spend no more unless you want a snack or unless you want to take some for your lunch. Other than that, that's it. Your breakfast, we take care of it as long as you're with us at the hotel. Your, cream gala event is fine dining. Everything there. You just got to be in the room to experience the experience.
That's right. That's right.
Tell them, Sharon, they got to be in the building.
I tell everybody, like here in Boston, I be telling everybody, you got to come and experience it.
Yes. Yes. I tell anybody, I'll put it down on anything first. And people come in 7 years in a row. Like people been coming 6 years in a row. And they and one young lady, Renee, she said, my people have said, you haven't gone to anything 7 years in a row. What makes this so different? She said, oh, no, this is something I have to have. So she go ahead and pay for hers before she leave there. And actually, she ended up paying for 2 spots. And she said, you know what? I'm just going to gift it to somebody else. And then she ended up turning 2 feet later and then blessing someone else. And she got blessed with her own product line. Like, wow. This is how I work. He was just trying to see how obedient it was. She didn't like, I want my money. She didn't do any of that. She said, oh, no, this is blessed ground. This is good seed right here. And you pour into good seed. When you find good seed, pour in a good seed because God is going to bless you exceedingly.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
So I am going to mission those who are out there looking for someone who specializes in all phases of hair care, all phases of extension. I'm talking about she color, she cut, customer service, reign supreme, safe space, nice looking, because I've seen the pictures, everything that you're looking for. And Sharon, you're there today on a Monday.
Yes.
Like she comes in, she customized according to her guests. Come on, somebody. Let the church say amen. This is who you're looking for. And she can be located at Comma, Styles, and Beauty, 500 Boston Providence Highway, Suite 155. You know that's my number, it's 55. Suite 155 in Norwood, Massachusetts. Go see her. Run. Don't hesitate. What's the phone number, Sharon? You can share with them.
617-435-3395.
One more time for those in the back.
617-435-3395.
This is your young lady that stays in education, ladies and gentlemen. This is a seasoned stylist that stays in the seat of education and want to learn more. If you're looking for somebody like that, I suggest you call her, email her on all Facebook and everything. How can they find you on Facebook, Instagram, and what other facets are you on as well?
So Facebook is Sharon Comma. Instagram is hereby Sharon _.
Okay.
And also Sharon, hereby Sharon on TikTok.
Okay. So she on TikTok too. I gotta get better at TikTok. I'm telling you, Lord, I be trying my best. So Sharon, we love you. We love you. I'm gonna tell you this, and I always say this: we love to see you in the building. We love your presence, and I'm sorry, you just got to be there. I don't care what we got to do to get you there. Period. And this is something I always say to everyone: I love you all, and there's nothing you can do about it. Bye.
Bye.